Good afternoon, traders. It's Bill Baruch with Blue Line Futures, and this is what's moving. We had a strong move in equities to start the day, start the week. Fed Chair Powell last night in 60 Minutes interview basically said, do not bet against the U.S. economy and more stimulus is coming. It pushed the equities higher, pushed risk assets, even the metals. Everything was trading higher overnight. Now, take a look, though. Let's start here first. A heat map, broad move, financials, industrials, everything was green. And even those big tech behemoths, they were lagging in gains relative to other parts. But it was at 6:30 Central or so, the news that Moderna had positive trials of vaccine testing, and that pushed the S&P through some resistance levels. So if you take a look at the S&P, we see this move here, and it really pushed it through what was going to be a resistance level coming into the day, and one that could provide a trade once it pulled back, even to buy and trade through it or to sell against it. You had resistance from the previous lows and the selling that came through last week. You had a big volume area at 29.10. Overall, you had the 618 retracement we had pushed through. So regardless, what you're looking at, 28.70 to about 29.10 was going to be a big pocket. And it was going to be tough for this market to chew through. The Moderna news just helped it just get right through there, broke out, and it's settling in a little bit. But now there's a lot of support down here at 29.10. So it's really shifted the landscape, from Fed Chair Powell talking about open-ended stimulus last night to we could have a vaccine, and it really just started moving the ball across the board on a lot of sectors. But, it took some wind out of the sails of others. Now, Treasuries for sure are one of them. You saw here the 30-year bond fell out of bed. This is a daily chart, staying range bound. So there is some support down here, 177, 77 and a half area, 78, we're coming into right now, previous low. So keep an eye on these treasuries, and what it also weighed on, it took some wind out of the sails in gold. Big outside reversal day in gold. There is a lot of support that we're going to watch here in gold, though. If you take a look right here, this is about the 50% retracement, 1735, and it's also an area of breakout essentially too. So there is a lot of support all the way down to about 20 in gold, but we want to see it stay constructive above here. Silver was another one on its move. It had broken out of its own little pennant area here in a bull flag pattern there, and it surged higher last night. 1790 was a level in silver. We were looking for about 1850, and we still think it could get there. That's that trend line on that chart there. But if you go farther out, and it's tough to look at these charts so far out, but if you look back at that high in 2011 silver, you have this trend line sort of coming in here, and it hit that. Now, we're less banking on that trend line, and we're more looking at this area. We don't think silver's done here. And then another wave of news came today that out of Europe, they were having a $500 billion euro bond now. And the fact that they were able to accomplish this started lighting a fire under the euro, lifted the euro. If you remember back a few weeks, they had met, the EU had met, ECB wasn't able to really accomplish what was needed, and the euro sold off sharply at that point. So now we're seeing reinvigoration here in the euro. We don't think it's going to follow through. We do favor the dollar, but you got to be nimble here given the type of move we've seen in the euro. See this surge here today, but again, there's been several fails in this region. Now, another one that surged out is the Euro Swiss. So the Swiss is a safe haven move. So you saw same sort of similar move as Euro and gold, but the Swiss had bottoming really, really nice here, and this had given it a nice surge higher. Tough one to trade at this point after such a move. But again, you're seeing the euro broadly higher against other assets. And can that follow through? It's a big week ahead still. Tonight you have RBA minutes coming out. It's going to move the Aussie dollar. Take a look at that chart in a second. Tomorrow you have ZEW, German sentiment, and you have employment data coming out of the UK. That's all before U.S. hours. And then coming into the U.S. hours, you do have a building permits, but more importantly, congressional testimony of Fed Chair Powell tomorrow. And that's going to start moving the markets, of course, after that or in through that. He has two-day testimony, a busy week. And then Thursday, you got flash PMIs in the U.S., Friday, flash PMIs out of Europe. So again, a busy week. And we'll close out with this Aussie chart here. So RBA minutes tonight. And then you have this little bit of a sort of tightening up a bit. resistance here. Can this Aussie find that resistance level and start backing away? But again, it's more of a broad move, risk assets, dollar weaker. And when you get a move in the euro with such strength today, it lights up other currencies against the dollar. It's sort of a risk on, and then you have the stocks doing what they're doing. Lifted the Aussie, lifted the Canadian, broad moves, and even the pound all raced all losses on the session. All were quiet ahead of all the news, but currencies against the dollar broadly higher to finish out the day. Give us a call. We're here to help. 312-278-0500. Remember, though, futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Thank you.